What's cracking, guys? Omar Esop here in this video today, here again with the baseball bat of knowledge and truth and justice. Three things talking about bro bulking. Is it for you? Who's it for? And why is it sometimes a mistake? First, a definition. What's bro bulking? Also known as falking, winter bulking, perma bulking, forever bulking, dreamer bulking. Many different names, but essentially what it is when you gain a, huge amount of weight, mainly fat, in order to build muscle. So let's say in a year, you might dreamer bulk 40, 50, even 60, shit, in my case it's 70 pounds in 1 year. That's bro bulking, where you're gaining more weight than honestly is necessary to build muscle. Because remember, you can only synthesize so much muscle in a year. So what is the point of all that extra fat? Before we answer that question, I will say that I don't think it's for everyone, and I recommend a lean mass phase. Let's talk about how much muscle you can build. What's your potential, right? And this depends upon the number of years you've been training. And this is where a lot of confusion comes from, because people say, yo man, gain like 30 pounds in a year. Well, after a year, 2 years of training, that's not possible, and that's not feasible, and that's not good advice. So first off, we got this fancy little chart right here that shows with, proper training, because everyone, we make mistakes, right? We might not be doing proper programming or eating enough. How much can we hope to gain in a year? Our potential rate of muscle growth in a year. And this is, all variables being perfect, being conducive to growing muscle. So in an absolute perfect environment, we could build 20 to 25 pounds in our first year, our beginner year. That's the newbie gains. Whatever you do, magic happens. That's why people think, oh, bro splits work or compound movements, full body. Everything works at the start. Then you have to get smarter and smarter as you continue to train, right? This is in an ideal world. So we have 20 to 25 pounds to start. Then second year, holy shit, in just about half, your gains are sliced. So about 10 to 12 pounds in that year, you can hope to gain maximum in terms of muscle. Then 5 to 6, eventually when you get to the stage that I'm at and a lot of YouTubers you see, you're hoping for about 2 to 3 pounds of actual real solid muscle. And that takes a long time. So you transition from these massive gains, 20 to 25 pounds, your first 20 pounds of muscle, all the way down to 2 to 3 pounds of muscle. That's the long, hard road of being a natural. Now, when we talk about muscle growth, you don't just gain muscle when you gain weight, right? You also gain fat. And that's why we have to talk about next nutrient partitioning. What your body does with the calories you're eating, right? Some of it will go to muscle, certainly. But some of it also will go to fat. Nobody has, 100% partitioning towards building muscle. No matter what you eat, some portion will go towards fat, some will go towards muscle. This is, an estimate right here. It's rough. It's assuming that you convert at least 50 to maybe upwards of 70% of what you consume towards muscle. So no matter what you eat, at least half of it will go towards muscle, and then the other half maybe fat. This is a, conservative, as I said, estimate. I think it's achievable for everyone. So when you look, you got your muscle growth you can achieve, and then how much weight you'd have to gain to build that amount of muscle. And we see in the first year, the most amount that I would recommend if you had ideal genetics, where you could build 20 to 25 pounds in your first year, would be 30 to 50 pounds. That 50 pounds is really stretching, and that's saying you don't have good nutrient partitioning where it's at 50%, so you gain 25 pounds of muscle, you need to gain 25 pounds of fat for that to occur. That's really on the far end. But after that, it's drastically lowered. After that newbie first year of real solid proper lifting, your gains go down, and therefore the total amount of weight you need to gain also goes down from, about 30 to 50 pounds, that's a high estimate, to 16 to 24, then 8 to 10, and then 5 to 6. Most people watching this video, if you're not a beginner, you're somewhere around here, and that's why I recommend, by and large, a pound to 2 pounds per month. More like 1 to 1.5 pounds of total body weight gain per month. And that equals in a year about 12 to 18 pounds. So it's roughly in this area, that intermediate phase. And that's why a lot of people, they'll say, Omar, why, man, you only gained like 5 pounds this year. What's going on? Or like 7 pounds this year. It's because after, I've been training for over 5 years, I'm roughly in this place right here. So I only need to gain about 6 total pounds to build the total amount of muscle for that year. And this is the big mistake when I talk about bro bulking. Yeah, at the start, you need to eat a lot. You will gain a lot of both muscle and then some fat. But after this point, gaining that extra fat, it's not necessary, right? It's not necessary every single year of your training life to gain 30 pounds and then I have to shed, 15 of that over the winter break. it doesn't make any sense. And if anything, if we talk about time, right, because we're all about time efficiency, trying to look good naked, essentially, when you talk about time, it's very inefficient, because if you gain, in addition to what I'm saying right here, an extra 15 or 20 pounds, you got to lose that fat. And that takes time. So let's say you got to lose an extra 15 pounds of fat. That's going to take you, what, 10, 12, 16 weeks in the ideal world. And that's 16 weeks you could have been building more muscle. So gaining extra fat gets no love. Final point about that too, and I'm really hating on it, but it's true. When you lose fat, not all of it's going to be fat, right? If the inverse is true, right, we talk about gaining muscle, and therefore you also gain fat alongside with it. Usually when you lose a decent amount of weight, a lot will be fat, but some will be muscle. So when you bro bulk, when you bulk, when you dreamer bulk, and then you have to lose the fat, you'll also lose some of your hard-earned muscle. That's why that golden mean, the slow and steady, right, gaining weight slowly but surely over time, appropriate for your training age, makes the most amount of sense in order to maximize the total amount of muscle growth you can have while staying lean. The final point I'll put right here for most individuals, it's hard to estimate. It's like, man, well, how many, we got these, okay, about 30 pounds we know. The best sign I could tell you to judge for yourself is your waistline and your measurements and photos. When you say, well, how much weight should I gain? You use these as rough guidelines, but if your waistline is expanding faster than everything else, you're eating too much food. So I would say when it comes to bro bulking, it's not necessary to gain a super huge, crazy amount of fat in order to build muscle. Slow and steady wins the race. That's what I want to say. Got the baseball bat of truth, laying it down. Say no to fulking, boys. Say no to whales. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, make sure to like this video. I'm talking to you, and I'll be seeing all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace.